Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today's episode is going to piss me off, and you guys want to stick around for this one. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me just get into this topic here. This topic really pissed me off. First of all, we had already finished producing content for the day, and I was done. And we're just going through the editing process, and I came across a clip from ESPN First Take featuring Kendrick Perkins and Shannon Sharpe and Udonis Haslem. And on the title of the clip, it says, "We all owe Kyrie Irving an apology." Now, the minute I saw that, I already knew what they were alluding to. Why? Because Kyrie Irving has been one of the most bashed figures over the last 3 years. And I've been among some of the people, especially during the Brooklyn Nets days, where I was a little bit perplexed at what was going on there with Kyrie, with some of the things that he was saying. So I'm not up here acting like this self-righteous, sanctimonious person. No, I've given my critiques in areas where I disagree with him, but I also defended him during the tweet and all of that stuff. I really defended him because I didn't like the way he was being treated publicly and just being flogged in front of everybody. So what happened? In this segment, they were discussing Kyrie Irving's kind of transformation in terms of his public image, because Kyrie has had one kind of drama-packed stop from one place to the other with the Brooklyn Nets. You think of the Boston Celtics and places like that. And now you see him with the Dallas Mavericks, where he's flourishing, and he is on the precipice of the cusp of making it to an NBA Finals. And the last time he did that was when he was a Cleveland Cavalier. So as I was listening to the segment, Kendrick Perkins was essentially saying that, listen, we all owe Kyrie Irving an apology, and I want to start off by being one of the first people to issue a public apology because of his strong comments against Kyrie. I remember Kendrick Perkins was the one that said if you put a bird in Kyrie Irving's brain, it will start flying around backwards, right? So people had a lot of strong comments, of course, Stephen A. Smith and others, about Kyrie Irving. So what happened? Kendrick Perkins says his part, which we're not going to play. Udonis Haslem says his part, which we're not going to play. And then it comes to Shannon Sharpe's part. Now, remember, this segment is about Kyrie Irving. As I'm listening to Shannon, I just already knew where he was going to go. And you all guessed it. He went to start talking about LeBron James. And then during the process, he came up with this analogy of, when your dad talking to your son. And I'm sitting there talking like, so wait, what are you saying? Like LeBron was talking to his son? And I'm like, bro, what is going on here? We're talking about Kyrie, and this is Kyrie Irving's moment. And you find a way to inject LeBron James into the conversation. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. But it makes perfect sense, because Shannon was one of the people that was going after Kyrie the moment he decided to leave LeBron James. So those are the comments that we want to focus on today. Before we even get into what Shannon Sharpe said, this video is brought to you by sponsor PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Shannon Sharpe had to say. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say here about Kyrie Irving.
I agree with you guys, but I think there has to be a level of growth and maturity on Kyrie's part. Let's not forget, he wanted out of Cleveland after they won the championship, went back to the finals, and lost in 5 games. He wanted out. He was on this talented team. Remember now, when he went to Boston, they had JT and they had JB Perk. They were there. They were young. So imagine Kyrie this mature, this level of Kyrie with that team. They should have probably had 2 or 3 championships by now anyway. He goes to Brooklyn. Whatever happened to Brooklyn, we know about the vaccine. We know about the tweet, the book, and whatever case may be. But I think what Kyrie is doing in Dallas is what LeBron tried to do for him. And, you know, sometimes when you're young and your mom and dad trying to tell you something, you don't want to hear it. It takes somebody else. You know this firsthand. You coach your son. Your son listen to other coaches more than he listen to you. And you right there in his house, and you trying to tell him you played in the NBA. And those guys probably didn't go past YMCA. But it's different coming from someone else. Kyrie had to mature. Kyrie had to grow up. And I think everything you said, guys, are absolutely correct. He's somewhere where he's embraced. He feels he's being respected because for whatever reason, he didn't want to play alongside LeBron James any longer. For whatever reason, he didn't want to be in Boston any longer. For whatever reason, he didn't want to be in Brooklyn. If you watch Kyrie, there's something said about finding a wife, having kids that mature some men. And I believe that's where Kyrie is in his life now. He didn't have those things in Cleveland. He didn't have those things in Boston. He was getting those things, I believe, at the end in Brooklyn. But whatever happened, Kyrie, he has changed the narrative because people were saying, how could you break up LeBron James, this young team with LeBron James? You're going to go back to the finals. Whatever happened. What happened? How could you not stay with JT and JB? If I'm not mistaken, I think Al Horford was on that team also. So it was a situation where Kyrie has changed the narrative through his behavior, through his play, through his maturation process, and it's something to be commended.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say. Look, I want to go directly to the point. I didn't like what Shannon was saying because in this moment, you're trying to steal the shine away from Kyrie to talk about LeBron James. How is it that you find a way to inject LeBron into this conversation? That's number one. Number two, let's get back to the comments. The thing of, you know, it's like when you're trying to talk to a son and all of that didn't sit well with me for a few reasons. Number one, Kyrie was LeBron's teammate. He was not his son. He was his teammate. And if Kyrie Irving deemed it that he did not want to play with LeBron, he didn't have to. But what happened was the minute he decided to move on from playing with LeBron, the Nick Wrights, the Shannon Sharpes, and all of these people started going against Kyrie Irving because he left LeBron James. And one of the major talking points about Kyrie has been, what has he done since LeBron James? We did a live about when the Mavs won Game 3, and I was saying one of the storylines here, it reminds me of Shaq and Kobe. Because remember when Shaq and Kobe won those rings, it was like, oh, Shaq carry Kobe, Shaq carry Kobe. And Kobe was so desperate to prove that I didn't need Shaq, that I can go out there and win championships. And Kyrie Irving is now in a situation where he most likely will go back to the NBA Finals without LeBron. So these people don't get to hang it around his head and say, oh, only LeBron James was able to extract the most success of the most, production out of him. Another thing they said was, when they were talking about Kyrie possibly going to the Lakers, only LeBron James can manage Kyrie Irving's personality. Like as if LeBron is bringing his son to the team. Which didn't sit well with me then. It's the reason why when you heard Kyrie Irving go on ESPN First Take when Max Kellerman was there, where he was like, so why didn't you feel the need to tell LeBron? And he said to Max Kellerman, he's like, oh, no, not the Max Kellerman. One of the reporters, he was like, if I've been like a father figure to him, he's like, a father figure? He's like, I have a father. What the F are you talking about? LeBron has been a father figure to me. I have a father. So why would he need to be a father figure to me? And people like Shannon Sharpe are the ones that are most bitter about this. They're not happy for Kyrie because they were the same ones saying that Kyrie would have been nothing without LeBron James. How dare you leave LeBron James? Who are you to leave LeBron James? That's what they were saying. That they left their king behind. But in a moment like this, we're talking about Kyrie. We're talking about him going through a public image transformation, whatever the hell you want to call it. And now you find a moment to talk about, this reminds me when he was him with LeBron. It don't remind me of nothing about LeBron. We weren't even thinking about it. Allow the guy to have his moment. You don't have to make it about LeBron James. My Lord. We're not even talking about LeBron James right now. We're talking about Kyrie Irving and the possibility of him going on to win another championship. with as much stuff that this guy's gone through, that's what we're focused on. It reminds me of like when a dad talking to you, what the hell are you talking about? It reminds you of a dad talking to LeBron is a teammate of Kyrie Irving. Like who are we kidding here? How old is Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving is what? Let me see. Kyrie Irving is 30-something years old. Kyrie Irving is what? 32 years old. How old is LeBron James? LeBron James is what? 39 years. He's 7 years older than LeBron James. They're basically in the same age group. You're making it seem like he was playing with somebody that was 15, 16 years older than him. Like, what are we talking about? So to me, man, listen, that didn't sit well with me. Like bringing LeBron up in that moment and in the context in which he brought him up in, you know, it takes you leaving your brother to show you to become the lead. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like all of those narratives about Kyrie and all, we've heard none of that out of Dallas. And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe the Dallas Mavericks are ensuring that people are not running to the media, putting up all type of salacious, ridiculous stories like vampires in the locker room kind of stories from the Dave McMenamins of the world. That just didn't sit well with me. It just really didn't sit well with me. Like at a moment like this, you're going to bring this nonsense up. Talking about, oh, well, it's like when you have a father figure, you know, when your dad talking to your son. I'm like, what are you talking about right now? These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments. We catch you on the next show. Peace.